Yo, what up? It's episode number 10. Let's go.
Everywhere, always.
Welcome back once again. Shout out to everybody watching, everybody listening. This is episode number 10, Everywhere Always. And today is July 21st, 2026. And tomorrow, July 22nd, is my birthday. I'm turning 33 years old. And man, I've just been doing a lot of reflecting. Been looking at old pictures. I've been looking at, creative work that I've done. I've been talking to family about, stuff that's happened in the past. And I've just had a lot of free time recently to just kind of just think about things, what I've been doing, what I haven't been doing, what I'd like to do more of. Certain aspects in my life to where I'm like, should I pivot? Should I push? And there's just a lot to consider, especially the closer I get to 35, because then that's only getting closer to 40. And, I remember growing up when I was like done being a teenager and I'm 20 and then I'm 21 and then like I'm kind of having this reflective phase in my life. I've had it so many times, but like when I talk to people that are older than me, either by many years or just a few years, they'd always be like, "Man, you're still so young. You got a lot of time. You got a lot of time." And I remember I was never the type of person to like plan for college or family, getting married, doing any of that stuff cuz I was definitely smoking a lot of weed in high school. And I wasn't really thinking too much about tomorrow. I was like on that free spirit type shit. While everybody was planning for college or playing sports or doing whatever else. I don't know. I was just worried about let me get a job, let me start working, let me try to save some money, let me learn how to drive and get my own car and all these different things. And I felt like I was always on the right path. And then not to talk badly about anything that I've done or where I'm at in life. Things could always be worse. But just reflecting, it's like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of things I would have done differently. I didn't stop smoking weed heavily until last year. It's almost been a year, but there's been a few times like just this year that I've hit the weed. But I don't miss it. And I don't feel like there's only certain moments where I'm like, damn, I kind of wish I was still smoking weed, or I wish I just had some weed in this moment. But for the most part, when I'm just reflecting, on career choices, the place I live, even friendships, anything like that, I'm just like, man, I wish I would have done some different things. And yeah, like I said, tomorrow I'll be 33, man, and just reflecting on a lot of things that have passed and opportunities that I've gotten and taken advantage of, and others that I haven't, that I just let pass me by. And I'm not really having any regrets per se, but I definitely I'm just reflecting heavily. And I want to make sure that the next, even to break it down to a smaller scale, the next 2 to 4 years, 3 to 5 years, I want to make some really good decisions, some really solid, positive minded, good decisions. That'll put me ahead further than I've ever been. And that's why I'm just thinking there's a lot that I can either pivot on or push on and just double down and really give it my all, or pivot and give it my all in a different direction. So just been a lot of self reflection lately. and a lot of free time. I haven't had this much free time in a long time, and maybe it's for the best, because otherwise I'm just in routine and I'm just kind of going with the flow, staying in my routine, and not really paying too much mind to getting enough rest or eating properly or even getting in the gym. Like I've recently gotten back in the gym and gotten back to a structured routine when it comes to that. And I'm feeling better. And I've been sleeping hard as hell, and waking up sore and being more hungry. So I'm dealing with all that. But it's, I think I'm in a good place as far as for my age. Like I said, it could always be worse. And I think I'm doing all right. But I want to do extremely well, like I said, in the next 2 to 4, 3 to 5 years. So I need to start making plans now and start acting on them while I still feel as young as I do, because the people around me are only getting older, and, time feels like it's just speeding up. I was just talking to my dad today about just the fact that this year has gone by almost quicker than last year went. And, I think that's a true statement to say almost of every year. Every year that keeps going, it just seems to accelerate. And yeah, just trying to slow things down, but also trying to make good choices and be proud of those decisions that I make. And yeah, just be more present than ever because like I said, time just passes by so quickly. So being present, not always looking at a phone, not always letting my mind wander so much about what I should be doing next or what I have to do when I get home or tomorrow or whatever. Like trying to escape all of that and just be here and now, as present as I can be, because I mean, shit, in the next 2 to 4, 3 to 5 years, I'd like to have, a family, start a family with my lady, make an honest woman out of her, get married, put a ring on it, as Beyonce would say. And, just have more things in my ownership, you know? It's never been of an importance as much as it is now and the older that I get of just ownership and owning things the right way. As a kid, you just want to have nice clothes, nice shoes. You get a little older, you want some jewelry, you want your own car. All that's cool, but then start thinking long term, especially when you want to have a family and just longevity in a career. You want to build a name for yourself. You want to have some property. You want to have things that grow in value that you can leave to your loved ones. And like I said, I take very good care of myself, I think, for the most part. I did just go to the dentist. They said I need some cleaning and some fillings, so I ain't been eating that well. But for the most part, man, I ain't got no bad health problems. I feel pretty youthful. My knees and my back be hurting like a motherfucker sometimes, but I do that to myself. I go pretty hard in the gym and at work. So the stuff I do is demanding. So it's not like it's just happening out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like I'm having it happen. So there's no real health scares there. So that's good. So like they say, you got to get while the getting's good, man, and just start making even more better decisions than anything that has led up until this point. Speaking of better decisions, there's a new song on Larry June's album, his new album. What is it called? Who Coppin'? Great album, phenomenal. I'm actually wearing uh Midnight Organic. Shout out Midnight Organic. Y'all want to sponsor me? Holla at your boy. Never met him, but I've said in the past, I listen to Larry June on the daily. Great music, great message, very uplifting, positive minded, speaks on investing and eating well and taking care of your family and all that. So I'm with all that. I'm with all that every day, all day, you know. But yeah, make better decisions, staying true to your word, and continuing to excel. And not only things that I care about, but the things that are going to make me better. Thus, I will care about them, you know? So that's just really all I'm trying to be focused on, because even when you're not making decisions, can't choose being indecisive. Being indecisive is still a choice. And it can end up being the worst one because you never pulled the trigger on doing something. So that's what I'm just trying to be, is more decisive and more aware of the things that I'm doing and not doing, especially that's going to put me further ahead in life and help the people out around me, you know? I mean, shit, I'm really only talking to family, you know? I got friends, but I don't know. I just don't really talk to many people. And I used to check myself about, like, reach out to more people, reach out to them more, just check in with people. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? Haven't heard from you in a while. And I can do that up to a certain point, but then after a while, it kind of starts to feel like a chore, because then it kind of feels one-sided, you know, because it's very rare that I get that back. And I'm big on reciprocity, and having people return the same energy that I give to them. Because then otherwise, it makes me start to think negatively either about them or about our quote unquote friendship. And that's not really any type of thinking space I want to be in. So I kind of just leave it how it is, you know what I mean, and just assume everybody's busy, you know. And then plus I try not to put too much on it, because, like, this is life. We're all trying to figure it out. I don't think anybody's better than anybody or has it more figured out than others. People are just sometimes are more blessed than others, and maybe they got to it earlier than others. But for the most part, we're all trying to figure it out. We're all in the same boat. And yeah, it just trips me out when I see, like, I was talking to my lady the other day about this. I'm like, isn't it crazy how you see, Facebook or Instagram posts about people going on like a guy's trip or a girl's trip, and it's people they've been friends with for like 20 years. And I'm like, I mean, I think I still know some people from 20 years ago, but I can't say that we'd go on a trip. I can't say that I could pack out a room for a bachelor's party or whatever. Like, it's just wild to me. It's like, damn, like, am I the problem? Because I mean, shit, I know people got friends, but it's like, it's just wild for me to see, like, I don't know. And maybe that's only a few, but who knows? It was a crazy thought. I'm just like, damn, how do people still got friends, man? Especially now. I don't know. Maybe it's just me because I'm able to enjoy my own company, and I'm able to just make do with having a routine, going to the gym, all this other stuff by myself, you know? So maybe I'm just okay with it, and I didn't notice it until I look up and I'm like, damn, I don't be hanging out with nobody. I be in the house, you know? But I don't know. It's just it's cool, man. I mean, shit, good for people that got friends, but I'm just like, I ain't got people that I'm really kicking it with on a regular basis other than family. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing, but that's my reality. And I can't say I'm not cool with it, because I love my family. I appreciate them. I feel like they'll keep it, all the way real with me in situations that I have to talk about and get some feedback on. So to me, I don't see it as a bad thing, but it is something I think that's missing. So I don't know. Just another thing I've been reflecting on. In other news, Spain world won the World Cup. I thought about putting money on it, but as I've told y'all, I'm not good at betting, so fuck all that. I seen that there's some tropical storm a brewing in the Gulf, so I guess brace yourself if you if you in this pattern. It seems like Houston's gonna get hit. Um, Other places in the Gulf, of course, and then like Austin's supposed to get at least some heavy rainfall. So it's really crazy because I can't remember the last time we got this much rain throughout the months outside of spring. You know, we're well into the summertime, and it's been raining like on and off, random times, 2 3 days at a time, and like heavy rainfall, not like a sprinkle and it's gone. It's like heavy rain and then it's gone the next day, and the sun comes out. So I don't know what that means. You know, so I've heard it's gonna make for a brutal winter. And then I heard in the winter that the summer's gonna be brutal. So it's like I don't know where that correlates, but you know, if it's gonna happen and it's gonna be one of the other extremes, it's gonna happen and you're gonna experience it in Texas for sure. Like we don't get no happy medium of anything. You know, the shit just it be hitting, man. It be hitting and nothing you could do about it. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Um Going to see the Odyssey tonight. I've seen a few mixed reviews. There's some people on Instagram I follow that have went and seen it and they say good things. So we'll see. This movie is almost 3 hours long. And I wasn't necessarily jumping at the chance to go see it because I'm seeing it like at almost 10 o'clock tonight. So I won't be home until 1, well after 1. So we'll see what happens. I'm really hoping this is a phenomenal movie. But just to be fair, like sitting down in a movie and I'm not at home to where I could pause it, go to the bathroom, do something else for 3 hours, I'm not making any promises. All I'm saying is it's gonna be something else. The last time I seen a movie that was that damn long was I think it was the third Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. And I thought the movie was gonna end like 3 different times. Like like whatever was going on, it seemed like it was building up, and I was like at the edge of my seat, like, yeah, this about to be it. All right. And then I was ready to get up, and then it kept going. And that happened 2 more times. And I stayed in the theater for at least another hour and a half. So why anyone needs to make a 3 hour long movie, I don't know. But I hope you know, I'm a fan of movies that like get to the point, develop the characters, the plot, the whatever, and like get to it. But like at a decent pace. That's why I had such high regard for Obsession, because everything was well developed. They didn't like speed through it. They didn't lollygag, as my grandma would say. They got to it at a perfect pace, and everything built up well, and everything resolved well, and it was good. You know, it wasn't choppy. It was nice, smooth pace. So I'm a fan of movies that do that well. But movies that are just like they drag on and it's like, fuck, man. I needed to pee an hour ago, you know? And you're so invested in the movie and it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this again, you know? And I'm a fan of like going to movies by yourself too. Tonight I'm not going by myself, but I'm saying like I'm a fan of going to movies by myself. So that is like the worst thing too. Is like when movies drag on and you're then in there by yourself. So like you ain't got nobody to tell you like what happened, you know? And it just sucks, man. But we'll see. We'll see. They spent millions of dollars on this shit. I'm not going to do the whole like 4D and 3D and IMAX and all that shit. I'm not doing all that, man. You know, another film I seen, I can't even remember what it was, but I seen a 3D movie and like you had to wear the glasses And probably 30 minutes in, I was over it. I was like, I don't want to wear fucking glasses to watch a movie. You know, I don't want to do it. Let me just watch it and let this just be it. You know, they have like, I can't remember if it was Cinemark or AMC or one of these movie theaters. They have like the whole experience to where you sit in the seat and it like moves. You know, if they're on the boat in the Odyssey and it's moving, you're moving like you're in the boat with them, and they got like wind and dust and shit. I'm like, I don't need all that, man. I don't need all that, because then I'll think something's wrong in the theater and I'll be ready to, fucking evacuate. But we'll see what happens with all this. I'm really hoping it's gonna be good, especially for 3 hours. Might need to pregame. Definitely gonna eat. Gonna sneak some food in there. Gonna do all that I need to do if I'm locking in for 3 hours. Okay, best believe. Okay. I mean, like I said, it's been hard finding good movies to watch or television to watch. I just finished Widow's Bay. It was great. Cape Fear should be over soon. It's not that great. It's like, it's mid. Everything that's happening, I saw coming. Silo's good, but it's kind of slow. So yeah, hoping this new movie is good, man. Cause I just, like I said, I keep going back to Breaking Bad. I just restarted it again yesterday or the day before, and I'm not mad about it. Breaking Bad is the shit. Better Call Saul is the shit. Vince Gillian or Gillian or Gilligan, I can't remember his name. But that dude, the writer, creator, whatever, his other show Pluribus on Apple TV, fire. And they're not even gonna start shooting that until the end of like next year or some shit. I'm waiting for Severance to come back on. Honestly, Apple TV has got my attention lately. I don't know what Netflix is doing. I don't even remember the last thing I watched on Netflix other than Breaking Bad. But we'll see what happens, man. And yeah, man, like I said, just been thinking about pivoting and trying to go in a new direction if possible, you know, and not worrying too much about what ifs, because I don't want to waste any more time than I possibly could have already, you know. Because I mean, a lot of times, and this podcast, this program is a direct like example of it. Of like creatively, man. Sometimes I just want to start over, you know, like delete my whole hard drive and everything that I got and just start new, completely new. And I had tried that for a little bit with like doing Blender, which is a 3D modeling software. And I don't know, it's like, not to say I'm never gonna do it again, but like that shit is hard. That shit is really fucking hard. Like extremely difficult to like wrap your head around all the components of like mastering that program. And then when it updates, you have to like reteach yourself your old methods as well as integrating new methods because they came out with a bunch of new shit. And just trying to stay consistent with that is just like so difficult. And there was like, I don't know, it was like maybe it was in school, like in grade school or something. There was like a video or something where somebody was showing a chart and it was basically like, over here you have something that's really difficult, and then over here you got something that's really easy. And then they're meeting in the middle as far as to like something that's challenging, but it's not too easy. Because if it's too easy, it'll get boring for you. If it's too challenging, you'll give up because it becomes overwhelming. So you need something kind of in the middle that's like, it can be fun, but it's challenging. It's not too easy, but it's not too hard. Is Things can be difficult because that inspires growth. But if it's like too difficult and just like, dude, I don't understand this shit. You know, like when I was in high school, I was in pre-calculus. I didn't understand a fucking thing that was going on in there, and I don't know how I passed that class. I have no idea. And I forgot what I was looking up, but there's like some job. I think it's like a lot of engineering shit. You gotta know calculus. I'm like, how the fuck does anyone know calculus? You know, that shit is like brain numbing. Like to really comprehend something like that, I feel like you have to delete everything out of your hard drive, your brain. You got to empty it completely so you can make room for all this shit and only this shit. You ain't gonna remember nobody's birthday. You ain't gonna remember what your wife orders at Chick-fil-A. You're not gonna remember your damn shoe size because calculus is just taking the whole chunk. Man, is I don't know. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna fully give up on Blender, but man, is it fucking difficult. It's really difficult. And I like a challenge. I like to be able to grow. I like to be able to push that creative thinking, but I also want something I can fucking comprehend, something I can actually do, you know, and that's what I'm trying to pivot towards. I'm trying to pivot and give myself more opportunity through being able to learn something, even if it's new, like completely new. But I'm not trying to fry my brain, to where I'm like, dude, I can't even like, I can't even get it, man. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, going to see the Odyssey movie tonight. Gotta get some food beforehand. Gonna probably pregame and get myself ready for this 3 hour experience. So I hope it's good. You know what I mean? And shit, man, we made it to episode 10. I honestly didn't think I'd make it this far doing the podcast again. It was a toss up. It was a toss up. But I can't say I didn't have fun doing this and making it to 10, but we made it, baby. And hopefully this to many more. And like I said, I appreciate everybody who watched and listened, even if it was for a few seconds, a few minutes. If you learned anything, if you were entertained at any time, appreciate you. But till the next time, peace and love. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Everywhere, always. We out.